my name is Morgan. This is my channel Pisces Paperbacks, and today I'm going to do a quickie little video because I had a plan for the video I wanted to go up today, but it's not going to be done, so I'm making this instead, which is also why I didn't set up my lights. But today I'm going to be talking about 5 books that I am predicting and hopeful I will love enough to give 5 stars. So 5 5-star predictions. I have all of the books right here, and they are all 5 different genres, so I'm really excited to talk to you about them, and let's get started. The first book I want to talk about is Wayward Son by Rowell. This is the sequel to Carry On, which I read last year and was one of my favorite books of last year, and this came out like so long ago. It literally came out last year and I just haven't read it yet. I'm so nervous to read this book because I'm either going to like love it, which is why it's in this video, it's what I'm hopeful for, or I'm going to like be really disappointed, and I'm just too nervous to let that happen. But when I eventually read it, I'm predicting and hopeful that I will give it 5 stars. The next book I am hopeful to give 5 stars is Surrender to the Highlander by Lynsay Sands. This is a Scottish Highlander romance, and that's really all I need to know. It's also by Lynsay Sands, who writes the Arsenault family series, which is a vampire romance series that I very much enjoy. So I honestly have heard such great things about her Scottish romances. I don't really need to know what this one is about, so I don't actually know what the synopsis is, but I'm still really excited for it, and I just have a good feeling. The next book I want to talk about is one that's definitely more on the hopeful to give 5 stars and not like predicting, because I honestly have no idea how I'm going to feel about this book, and that is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I know that some people say this is better than Jane Eyre, and Jane Eyre is literally my favorite book of all time, so if I like it better than Jane Eyre, that would be like a lot. My main goal and hope with this book is that I enjoy it just as much as Jane Eyre, because Jane Eyre is the only book by Charlotte Bronte that I've ever read, and this would really be a message to me that I gotta read more from her. Like, why haven't I yet? It's been my favorite book for literally like 7 years. Why have I not read this book yet? This book has a lot of similar themes to Jane Eyre, so it follows a young woman who flees England to become a school teacher in a small French town, I believe, and she kind of becomes involved in a witness to two other people's romance and perhaps encounters romance herself, so I'm very excited to read this one. The last 2 are new additions to my TBR, so I just bought them recently, and the first one is Winterhouse by Ben Guterson. I've talked about this book a couple times recently in videos, so I won't spend too long on it, but this is a middle grade fantasy about a young orphan named Elizabeth whose parents, she's an orphan. Her aunt and uncle sent her to live in the Winterhouse Hotel. While she's living there, she discovers a magical book in their huge library, and it kind of starts unraveling the secret of the family who owns the hotel. That alone, honestly, to me, sounds like a fairly regular or common fantasy premise for a middle grade. The thing that really makes me think I'm going to love it is that it has these beautiful illustrations throughout the book, and it's just like so gorgeous. It's also one of those books that has like visual clues to whatever mystery is happening in here. I also know, I can't find it right now, but there's, oh, here it is, a beautiful family tree of the family, and just, I feel like this is going to be an experience to read and not just like reading a book, which, I mean, I love reading books, but something that I love about younger books is that it really plays with the visual aspect of the story, especially when it's a mystery, especially when it's a fantasy, and I just love that so much. Like, how gorgeous, you know? And lastly, my 5th 5-star prediction is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Sloan. I feel like I've heard very little about this book because it was popular like years ago, because it came out in like 2012, but the things that I have heard have been like overwhelmingly positive. As much as I love books and bookstores and libraries, I really don't think I've read that many books about them, so I'm really interested in diving into this one. It is about a man named Clay who gets a job at Mr. Penumbra's bookstore and then starts noticing some odd things about the clientele, how no one really ever buys books, and he just kind of gets involved with the secrets hidden in this bookstore. So it just sounds so good, and I don't have any immediate plans to read this like right away, but something about it, I'm like, I'm gonna read this in January, and I'm gonna have a cup of hot chocolate next to me, and it's going to be amazing. So this one is most likely going to be read before the end of the year. So the rest of them might take a little bit longer than like to get all of them done, but I definitely want to read this one fairly soon. And with that, that is all 5 books that I am predicting and hopeful I will give 5 stars when I read them. I know this is like a quick little video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you've read any of these and what you think. I know that Connor Stampinato, I believe his last name is, recently read Villette, and I don't think he liked it as much as Jane Eyre, or he like hauled it and hasn't read it yet. Something like that. So I really want to read this one soon because I just want to get more into Charlotte Bronte. I just love Jane Eyre so much. Why haven't I read this? I think about that all the time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which one of these you think I'm gonna like the best, or if you've read them, which one you like the best, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!